I've always been the kid that was always into trying new things, picking up new hobbies every couple months, whether it be cars or motorbikes, tattooing, making YouTube videos, and I always went all in. I could never just half do something. I would always get good at something and then move on to the next hobby. It was almost like once the challenge was taken away from it and it no longer became hard to do, I would just get bored of doing it, and that's when I would change on to the next hobby.
Declan was a child that if you said he couldn't do something, he absolutely had to prove that he could. He always puts 110% into what he's doing and what he wants to achieve.
You have a gift, and I like to call that gift ADHD, with a little sprinkle of autism, and that enables you to do quite well at whatever you choose that week.
He was always in the house and always trying to make YouTube videos. We had numerous arguments about him wanting to be a rapper, wanting to be a YouTuber. There was something every single day. For a while, all I could see was, no, you need to get a trade behind you.
I worked for my grandfather, and he never wanted any of us to join the family business. It was very much go out on your own and find something that you're good at. But for us, it was the safe option, the easy option. You know, you get the trade behind you and then you can do whatever you want after that. The lesson he taught me was probably you have to be the first one in and the last one out if you want to make it work. And that's what I did for the last 10 years. I was a joiner. Good job, steady income, family business. It's a safe option. I mean, you know, could have stayed there for the rest of my life. Last September, everything changed.
September was the start of the hardest time.
A sharp pain in my side turned into a hospital bed, and then the doctor says to me, "We found a growth on your bowel." They say the word cancer to you and everything kind of just stops. 24 years old, a wife, 1-year-old daughter, another one on the way.
When anyone mentions the word cancer, you just automatically, and you try not to, but you automatically think of worst case scenario.
I hope no one ever has to experience it, but the world stops. And they just continue on with what they're saying, and you don't even take everything in. In December, I went for surgery, and to have the growths removed so they could do a proper biopsy on it and hopefully confirm that it's not cancer, and that everything was all clear and I was good. It wasn't until the February, so it was after the surgery, it was a further 2 months, and then I got the results back and everything was all good, I was all clear.
When we eventually got the results that it was all clear, and the relief, I've never felt relief like that.
Surgery was a huge success, and I remember just the weight lifting off of my shoulders. It was a huge relief, massive relief. I just remember sitting in recovery and I'm staring at these same 4 walls. I knew I couldn't waste another moment doing something that was just safe. So I quit. No plan B, no safety net, just me, the camera, and just this overwhelming drive to build something that belongs to me from scratch. To have this thing that I've created and I've built up for my family. This is what happens when you risk everything to chase that dream.
Okay.
First week started off strong. I came up with a name pretty quickly. I jumped on to make a bunch of logos until I came up with one that I was satisfied with. Next we had the website. I wanted something super simple that I could just dump all my favourite pictures onto without having individual galleries for specific things. I added a second page for wedding packages because, you know, weddings. One thing I realised pretty quickly is it's okay to make mistakes. For example, the business cards. I ordered 250 of these until I realised I didn't actually like the design. That was what sparked me to redesign the logo. And then I ordered these ones. Everything was happening so fast. And then it started to get a little bit overwhelming. The pressure of trying to make this work was starting to outweigh my optimism. Income was slowing down, jobs were coming in few and far between. Everything was becoming a distraction. I was seeing more problems than solutions, more doubt than certainty. And I was definitely on the track for a burnout. Reality hit. Then something happened. Something I've not felt in a long time. The drive just to make cool shit. To do things because I wanted to do them. Remembering all the promises I had made to me. And at that point I knew it was time to lock the fuck in. So I emailed event managers, reached out on wedding pages and offered my services to local businesses just to try and get some work in. Next thing I know, I'm covering media at massive events like Tough Mudder, the Royal Highland Show. I'm covering Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year. Oh, and also I'm the official photographer for the Ferry Fair Festival this year. Front page. I've also covered a bunch of weddings, big and small. First one was at Edinburgh City Chambers, and then my most recent one was just at the View in Bathgate, which I actually had to ask Rebecca for some help on.
He asked if I wanted to give him a hand. We offered content creators to the bride and groom. One thing I can say about that day was it was absolutely roasting, melting, like unbelievably hot. But it was a good experience.
We didn't know that it was going to be the hottest day of the year, and I would like to apologise to Rebecca for making her actually do work in that heat, especially being so heavily pregnant. My goal is to build this channel alongside my media business. The good, the bad, the highs, the lows, ups and downs. So if you have any need for a photographer, whether it's for your branding, your local business, products, weddings, anything, you name it. If you need a photo of it, I can take it. If you don't mind your business or your product or your brand being in one of these videos, then that would really help me out as well, because I can document the whole process behind it. And I've got one last thing for today. Now a dad or two. I'll see you in the next one.